Welcome back to Grit Gym, guys. Welcome back to Grit Gym. Let me get these all turned up as far as I can here. All right, welcome back. Every weekday we come to you to talk about your exercise, your health in general, but your exercise, which we get through movement patterns. Movement quality is everything about exercise. Don't talk to me about anything around exercise until you have quality movement down. Then we can talk about hypertrophy. Then we can talk about strength. Until then, we really got to get clear. How is your body moving? Nutrition, exercise, mindset, recovery. Okay, recovery is where all of the magic happens. We want to make sure that you're getting enough sleep, that you're getting the meditation, that you're getting the recovery methods that you need to get in your day to make sure that your body is progressing in the way that you want it to progress. Because this thing doesn't work without recovery. Nothing. You can eat as best as possible, and you can exercise like crazy. And if you're not sleeping, if you're never getting to sleep, and you're never taking time to relax, and you're always fatigued, and you're always exhausted, okay, which we're going to get into here in a second, there's going to be a problem. So today, I got a lot of questions for you. Okay, I got a lot of questions for you to ask yourself and to roll around in your head, because a lot of people just use these words, common knowledge, or commonly just like they just throw it out there and expect everybody else to understand what they're saying. And I think what's really going on is words are just containers, right? So words are just containers. The way that you define love, hate, lazy, motivated, focus might be a little bit different than how I define it. And I think we need to get really, really, really clear on what each of these mean for ourselves, okay? For ourselves and for the people that are around us. Because there's sometimes, believe me, I'm like Captain Ambiguity. There's sometimes where it's really nice to just be ambiguous, to just let a conversation die out, to just let it fall apart, and that's wonderful and all. But if we can get really clear on everything, I think that everything expands. So if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. If you're watching it, it's 12:30 right now. If you're watching this later, if you're coming on here later, please ask the question later, or ask the question at the time, and I will come back through and I'll write back, and I'll hopefully we can get a dialogue going, a discussion going. I really like hearing what you guys have to say, what your thoughts are, what your perspectives. The more perspectives that I can acquire, the more that my intelligence will grow. And I do not have all of the answers. I don't think that I do. I don't think that anybody does. And I think that the more that we share more of the ideas around some of these things, more of the perspectives, the better everything is going to get. So, but exercise, nutrition, mindset, recovery. Exercise is based on the quality of the pattern that you have, and it has to be appropriate to you. Nutrition is the same boat, but no matter what, when you get down to the nutrition stuff, every single one of us has enough education to make better choices. It doesn't really matter. It does matter what those choices are, and it does matter what your strategy is. But no matter what, everybody can make better choices in the nutrition game. You don't need a ton of education around this to make a better choice, right? Mindset stuff is not just all about thinking positively. That's why we put these signs up behind me here. Work hard to improve every day. Focus on the present priority, and be a positive influence to those around you. You do those three, good things are going to happen. Whenever I train athletes, high school athletes, it's a little bit more of a structured environment than it is. Like a Grit Gym, it's extremely structured, but with a group of athletes, you take them all through a warm-up at the exact same time. You have your little meeting right beforehand, and those are the three questions I always ask them. First I ask them two questions. Are you going to be all in today? Or are you going to be afraid that you're not enough today? And they both, and we've gone, let's assume that we've already gone over this. So the all in, I'm going to love me today. I do my absolute gut-wrenching best right here, right now, knowing that my absolute gut-wrenching best is enough. Okay? And then are you going to be afraid that you're not enough today? That's where our stress, our anxiety, our nervous, anger, the victim, the perpetrator, the bully, the bullied, the sheep drama, the jealousy, the lack of self-esteem, the lack of confidence, that's all come from the fear of not being enough. And most of, like I was talking about there just a second ago, most of your exhaustion, most of your fatigue actually comes out of that little scenario. So which one are you going to choose? Because the default is always going to be, are you afraid of not being enough? Yeah, and this will take care of it. The better you get at this, the sneakier it gets. So you have to continually do it over and over again. Mine is pretty sneaky right now, and it's an interesting one. But if you become more and more aware of what you tell yourself, you will see that that one is happening more often than that one. So so I always ask them those two questions. Are you going to be all in today, or are you going to be afraid you're not enough today? I always get the answer. And I look at the whole crowd, and then they have to say that they're all in. And I say, are you going to work hard to improve today? And I wait for that answer. And then, are you going to focus on the present priority today? I want to get them into that frame of mind. I want them to set the intention that this is what they're here to do. They have a priority. This is it. Okay. What we're going to get into, one of the things we're going to get into, and is that you're always focused, no matter what. Like, you do not have, there's no such thing as a distraction. You're just focused on something besides the priority. Like those hand motions. Anyway, and then, are you going to be a positive influence? Because the more that you're a positive influence, the more you gain people into your group that are going to help you get to where you want to go, and you're also going to help them get to where they want to go. And the more of a negative influence you are, the more you push away all the people that could have helped you, and the more you gain all the people that are going to keep you right where they are. And I'm guessing that's not quite where you want to be. So anyway, so what are the questions? What are these things? What are we gonna get out of today? By the time we're done today, I hope that you're just sitting around for the next week, just being like, oh my God, could this really be a thing? Like, could it be like that? I don't know. Like, I want to trip out your mind that hard. So let's find out if I have the skills to pull this off. Okay, so I got to ask myself, right? I got to ask myself, am I going to be all in today, or am I going to be afraid that I'm not enough today? And I'm asking you that right now too. So make your decision. Okay, and the first question is, what do you do, like, when you're not feeling super work ethic and someone calls you lazy, or you're calling yourself lazy? What does this mean? Is it lazy? Is it lazy if you haven't gotten to where you want to go? Is it lazy if you're not taking action on your things? And I personally think, and from my experience watching other people do this, is I'm just being really lazy right now. I'm so pathetic. It's just like that. I'm so pathetic. Oh, I'm so ugly. Oh, I'm so fat. It's just like that negative self-talk that they're giving themselves. Now, is it lazy? Because is it lazy if you're laying around all day? Well, let's take a look at this, okay? What if you're relaxing? What if you're resting? What if you're planning? What if you're thinking? What if you're strategizing? What if you are meditating? Are those considered lazy too? Because a lot of people could walk in a room out of context where you are and think, it just doesn't look like you're doing anything. Which brings us to the next one. Can you really do nothing? Can you? Okay, and if you guys want to interact in here, go ahead and hop into the comment section and tell me your thoughts on what do you think lazy is? Because I think lazy is a negative self-talk that people give themselves to avoid where they want to be. It's just like giving themselves the excuse, like, I guess I'm just a lazy person. And it keeps them from getting where they want to go. You got a goal, you got to push through. You got to push through that. You guys got to go and go and go and go. You're not lazy. You are not lazy. You're probably relaxing. You're probably resting. You're probably sleeping. You're probably meditating. You're probably strategizing. You're probably thinking. Is it possible to be lazy? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible. I personally think that you're just focused on things that might not be the things that are going to get you where you want to go. It might just be bad strategy. And if you need better strategy, what do you got to do? You got to stop. And you got to get what most people call lazy and think and re-strategize and get better at that thing. If you're sitting around reading a book, I would imagine that it's kind of a sign of the times too, is that we like to call kids lazy. Well, 100 years ago, I almost guarantee you that some farmer said that his kid was lazy for reading a book. And today we'd be like, oh my God, you're reading a book. This is amazing. But instead they're in this thing, whatever this space is, consuming content. If they're creating content, is that different than being lazy? I don't know. Okay. Can you, and then the next thing was, which came up in there, was, can you do nothing? Is it even possible to do nothing? This is one, I don't think it's possible to do nothing. I think even if you're dead, you're like, let's say you're alive, since we're all alive right now. If you're alive, the least of the least of the least, you're turning oxygen into carbon dioxide. At the very least, your body is performing tons and tons of different chemical reactions right now. Just by ADP is turning into ATP. ATP is breaking off that last phosphate group to create energy. This magic thing happens. Creatine phosphate is breaking apart to supplement the ADP into ATP so that you have energy to talk and to move your arms and to do cool stuff and to work out and to think and perform all these crazy activities, to have fun with your family to your life, however you want to do your life, is all happening all the time. So are you really doing nothing? Now, I think you're always doing something. And go ahead, try to meditate and see how easy it is to think about nothing. It's extremely hard. It's extremely, extremely hard. And a lot of this stuff that I talk about is actually an unlearning. And if you have trouble with the idea of unlearning, well, try to pick out any of these words that are on this page or behind me or anything. Try to unlearn the ability to read those words. That's going to be pretty difficult, right? Well, it's unreal difficult to unlearn what is going on inside your mind that you think and accept as reality, and maybe it's just false bullshit that you have rolling around in your head that you've accepted as this is the way it is. I don't know if that's just the way that it is. I don't know. I don't think that you can do nothing. Even when you die, you're decomposing, which doesn't sound like a very good thing, but I really do think that you are a spiritual being inside of a vessel. Okay? And when you go back to nothing, okay, if that is the point where when you stop decomposing and you're just done decomposing, which doesn't actually happen until you're just pieces of dust floating in the wind, right? When that happens and you went back to nothing, if that's the case, then you had to go back to everything. And if you went back to everything, or you just one with all, okay? This is like kind of a deep idea, but if you go back to nothing, I think that you have to be going back to everything. Because is everything nothing and nothing everything, or is nothing everything and everything is nothing? I don't really know, but it'll be interesting to find out. I don't think it's possible to do nothing, and I like to think that all things are possible. But is it a waste of time? Is it a waste of time? Is this a waste of time? Is anything a waste of time? I don't think that it is. Like, how? Like, for me, how could it be it's a waste of time? I think that's based on the person who said that. I think it's based on their opinion. For instance, I could take $5 and I could take $20, let's say, and buy a pizza. Somebody might say that was a waste of $20. You could have made that pizza. You could have done something else. You could have eaten something better. Sure, but maybe I wanted that pizza. Maybe I wanted that pizza. That's up to me. That's not a waste of money to me. Okay? And cheap meal is almost always pizza for me. The cheap meal is typically pizza. So let's say I spent that. That's not a waste. That's your opinion that that's a waste of money, just like it's your opinion that I was wasting my time or that you were wasting your time doing something. I don't know if it can be a waste of time. And to go even further than that, is time even a real thing? Or is time something that we have created as animals have created as a mental construct to make sense of our environment? For real, what was there before time? Before time was a thing, what was there? Was there waste of time before there was time? I don't know if we really even know. There's new things coming out that we don't even think that the Big Bang was a thing anymore. That wasn't even it's pretty wild thoughts. And if you listen to certain mathematicians, they can prove that there's a multiverse, and that really will trip your mind out. Anyway, is time even real? I don't know. I don't know if time's even real. I like to think that it's not. I think that it's really just a mental construct that we create to try to make sense of our environments, and that humans and animals have done this for as long as animals have been around. But at some point, there wasn't time. Just like at some point there weren't telephones. At some point there wasn't agriculture. At some point there wasn't humanity. At some point there wasn't none of the animals that exist right now. At some point they didn't exist. Everything had to be invented as time went along. Or are they all right now? I don't really know. What about lacking motivation or lacking confidence? This is one of my favorite ones. So what are you going to do when you find it? And where are you going to go look to get it? And I don't think that motivation or confidence exists. I think it's bullshit that you coop up in your mind to make a plan for why you don't succeed in your life, or why you don't succeed at the thing that you want, or why you don't get the thing that you want. Oh, I wasn't motivated. I'm just not very motivated. What are you planning to fail? Are you planning to not go out there? Like, is this you making your plan to do? To go out there and do what you want to do? I think people get this all messed up. They're like, oh, I could never have the confidence to do what you do, Adam. I could never get the confidence to make these videos. This is not confidence. These are terrifying. I don't like these at all. They're extremely uncomfortable. But my conviction to my cause outweighs the discomfort. It outweighs the pain. It outweighs all the things that come in regards to this thing. So I feel like if I don't do these, I'm not living my purpose. I'm not living up to my conviction. I am not talking about the things that I think the world is based on, which is like the toughness of being you, the hard things in life that make you you, that you've got to push through, the fears that and the status quos that you accept that you can push through. I think that's the good stuff, that the good stuff lies on the opposite side of that. And that comes from what I've done in my life, but also what I've seen other people do in their life. If you lose your confidence and you lose your motivation, where did it go? What's it look like? How are you going to find it? It's bullshit. It's based on that all in or afraid you're not enough. It's that I'm afraid that I'm not enough stuff. I lost my motivation. What? You're not enough to go out there and do the best that you can? What is that, a crutch? Is that confidence a crutch? Is that motivation a crutch? Well, you need that for something? No, you don't. You need to know that your absolute best is enough on this given day. And your absolute best is greater than you can possibly imagine. What about this question? And I get the statement, not the question, the statement. The back to where I was. I got to get back to where I was. I got to get my routine back. I got to get my life back. I got to get you don't get to get it back. Okay, this goes back to that time thing, but good luck. Good luck getting back to where you were. Back to where you were. See, like the only ever growing thing is that change is going to happen. No matter what, I'm now, 18 minutes older. We're both now 18 minutes older than when this video started. Unless you sped up this video later and I'm a time traveler and I'm coming at you 6 days from now and you sped up this video, we are now 18 minutes older than we were when we started this video. Back to where I was, there is no future without now, and there is no past, it's gone. Okay, there's no future without right now. So you gotta get right in here, and we can push forward to the future. But there's no future without right now. So you got to do what you got to do right now. You can't be going back and forth. Okay, if you live back there, you're not really learning anything because you're not spending time right here. You can learn from the past and the present, and you can plan for the future in the present, but you're still present. Okay, and the actions that you take now will get you a result one way or the other. Either you're going to get what you want or you're not going to get what you want. Either you're going to be all in or you're going to be afraid that you're not enough. And if you're afraid that you're not enough, I almost guarantee it's going to get you where you didn't want to go. What about I'm tired? Well, are you? Okay, this is something to really take into consideration. Are you actually tired? Recovery is where all the magic happens, right? And recovery is where nobody actually got strong in the gym. Everybody got strong during the recovery portions. No one actually lost a pound in the gym. No one actually gained a pound of muscle in the gym. No one ever lost any fat. No one ever gained any muscle. No one ever gained any strength in the gym. That was the catalyst. That gave the body a stimulus. And then during the recovery time is when all the magic happened. So if you are tired and you really are fatigued, you need to listen to that. But I don't believe that you're actually tired. I think there's other things going on here. It's kind of like I'm busy. Well, I'll tell you how this goes for me. This is how I said that my fears get sneaky on me. Well, to give you an idea, this is what I do. Looking back in the being present, learning from the past, well, this is what I do. I get so busy being busy, proving how I'm busy, that I'm busy being a hardworking guy, that therefore I'll be enough. Okay, if I'm busy being busy, if I'm so busy being busy and working my ass off to be busy, then man, I must be a really hard worker. I must be getting stuff done, right? Well, that might not mean that I'm actually being productive. It might not mean that I'm actually doing anything. I might just mean that I'm spinning in circles, getting myself really, really tired. It's like the hamster on the wheel, right? The hamster doesn't actually go anywhere. It's like the person on the treadmill. They don't actually go anywhere. So are you really tired, or are you just a hamster rolling around? Are you just busy, being busy, trying to fool yourself into the idea that you're working hard when you're not actually being productive? It's very, very easy to do, which goes into I don't make plans. What do you mean you don't make plans? I get this on a pretty regular basis, or that they didn't have a plan walking into it. That's still a plan. You basically always have a plan. Just like your mind is always working, just like your body is always working, you have a plan. Even if you're dreaming, your mind is still working. You have a plan, and not to, have you ever heard the quote what is it? Not planning is a plan to fail. Basically, not planning is a plan to fail. Well, maybe, but you're always planning. It's just whether you're planning to succeed or whether you're planning to fail. Okay, you're not planning. You're making a plan. To say really lacking confidence right now. Well, is that your plan to give yourself a scapegoat in the future? Oh, I just wasn't confident going into that match, is what I used to tell myself as a wrestler. And I know other athletes that have done the same thing. I just wasn't very motivated, and that's why I gained 30 pounds that month. What? Like, it has nothing to do with motivation. You made a plan. You made a plan to let yourself down. Don't do that. Make the plan. When you do the 2 questions, when you do this stuff behind me, am I going to be all in today, or am I going to be afraid that I'm not enough today? Am I going to work hard to improve today? Am I going to focus on the present priority? Am I going to be a positive influence? You are making an intention. You are making a plan for that day. You're going to work hard to improve that day. You're going to focus on the thing that is present, that is the priority at this time. You're going to be a positive influence on the people that are around you. You're going to be all in. You don't make plans, you're full of shit. You're always making a plan. Okay, what about lacking focus? This is also a plan. I think that you're always focused. Okay, this is my perspective. You're always focused. It's just whether you're focused on the thing that is not the priority or the thing that is the priority. I like to tell the story of, well, it's not really a story that actually happened, but it's a hypothetical. If boy sitting at the back of the room is staring at a pretty girl during school while the teacher is giving a lecture, and the teacher gets mad at the boy for not being focused. Well, I would contend that that boy is focused. He's just focused on the pretty girl instead of the stuff that the teacher is writing on the board. Okay, and understandably so, they're high school kids, right? In my hypothetical mind, this is a high school scenario. So, but that kid, maybe to the teacher, from her perspective, the priority needs to be the lecture. For the boy, maybe the priority is that girl. I don't really know. But what is the priority? He needs to be asked that question. Hey, what's the priority right now? What's the present priority? Is it going to be school, or is it going to be the girl? And from my perspective, I don't really care what he picks. He just needs to pick, because one of them is just a distraction. Okay? One of them either he can be focused on the distraction, or he can be focused on the priority. What is the priority to you? Is it the pizza, or is it the workout? Is it the Snickers bar, or is it the apple? What are you focused on? Because what you're focused on will decide a lot of what you actually get out of what you're doing. This has always been a really tough one for me, but I think that everybody can overcome what they end up focusing on. If they focus on being the victim, what do you think you're going to get? You're going to get more. Whatever you focus on, it's going to grow and it's going to expand. You focus on being depressed, maybe you do have a predisposition to being on the depressed side of life. I don't want to say sad. Sad's a good emotion. Sad's a powerful emotion. Sad's a good thing to go through. If you don't know much about grief, you probably don't know much about bonding, and bonding's the whole show. So you might have a predisposition and a chemical thing in your brain that makes you more apt to be depressed or more apt to be anxious. That's understandable. I'm not bagging on you there. However, the more you focus on that thing, the more power it's going to get. So the less you focus on it, the more you focus on loving you, the more you focus on being all in with you, the more that's going to grow. Which one do you think is probably going to lead to a better life? You are not the victim of your you can be a victim of your own perpetration. So don't be a perpetrator to your own victimization. Write that one down. Put that on a t-shirt. But anyway, what about being tough on yourself? Well, being tough on yourself, I think this is one of the big things that we actually are lacking right now. And I don't want to point blame, but like the baby boomers didn't really do a great job of this. Baby boomers said, love your kid no matter what. Sure, love your kid no matter what, but you got to be hard you got to hold people to a certain level of expectations. Why would you fall to a low expectation? I would much rather set the bar up here and get here than set the bar clear down here and hit here. I mean, maybe I surpass that thing, but I doubt it. Set the bar where it belongs. Set the bar up high. Be tough on yourself. Why would you not be tough on yourself? Why would you not be tough on employees, on kids, on like for me at the gym? I don't think I'm like beasting out on people when they're in their workout. I think that's silly and ridiculous. However, if someone came to me and they said, I want to lose 30 pounds in a certain amount of time, it's my job, it's my duty, it's my responsibility, and it's their responsibility and their duty to get to that goal. So I need to hold them accountable. I need to be tough on them on some level, some people more than others. But this gets into the pressure thing. I don't like pressure. This blows my mind. You want to employ pressure as much as you possibly can. The more pressure that you can put on yourself, the more you can leverage pressure against you, the more you're going to push out into the world. I would love to have just like a little, like I don't want to call it a devil's advocate or the angel devil thing on my shoulder, being like, hey, it's time to get to work. And I have to tell them to piss off all the time. Like, hey, you need to get on the next thing. Hey. Leverage as much pressure on yourself as you possibly can. The people around you, ask them to push you. And this is in the don't push me. Why would you not want someone to push you? You want to experience more of your life. You want to have this great, incredible life full of experiences, full of great things, full of joy, power, and love. You're going to have to get pushed. Okay? I don't know if this is actually true or not, but let's say the baby eagle doesn't want to leave the nest and the mom kicks it out so it learns to fly, right? Well, until that mom goes ahead and kicks that eagle out, it wouldn't have flapped its wings and it wouldn't have been able to do what it needed to do. The mom had to apply the pressure. The mom had to push. The mom had to be tough. Okay? Bullies. This is one of those things that someone knocked me off course. They were being a bully. An adult taking words personal shows a real lack of objectivity, intelligence, and compassion. And for me, the word compassion is based on understanding. So if you can step back away and look at the bully from a compassionate standpoint, you could understand that maybe they have some pain inside them too. And then you can look at it more objectively. It's also just a ridiculous thing. We want being different to be a good thing, but then we don't actually celebrate people that are different than us. It's a really odd little scenario that I don't totally understand, but I'm trying to, because that's a different mindset than what I have. So I try to understand it, but it's difficult for me. Anyway, being different, if you value being different, which I do, I like tearing down the status quo. I think the status quo is not the root of all evil, but I don't think it helps very many things. There's certain status quo things that are just like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Why not use that? But a lot of the status quo stuff is absolute bullshit. So why would we use it? But if you value being different, then you've got to value people who are different than you. And their difference of opinion is a very good thing. Then you can have a discussion instead of an argument if you have the guts to do so, because that takes a lot of courage. And then you can grow your intelligence, you can grow your perspectives, and all this magical stuff can come about. And we don't have to sit on Facebook and bitch at each other because someone's an asshole and the other side says asshole and you're stupid back and forth, which becomes this ridiculous thing where you have people that hate a certain person even though they follow their page and comment on everything. Don't ask me. Anyway, those are all the questions I have for today. Is it lazy? Can you actually do nothing? Is it a waste of time? Is time real? What about lack of motivation and lack of confidence? I got to get back to where I was. What the hell is that? I'm tired. Well, are you? Let's assess this. Are you really tired, or are you just being busy trying to prove to everybody, including yourself, that you're enough? Okay, because that is exhausting. Believe me, I know exactly what that feels like. It is exhausting. You will not get to your goals in life if all you're trying to do is spin around and try to make everybody believe that you're enough. I don't make plans. That's total bullshit. You're always making a plan. You're making a plan to succeed, or you're making a plan to fail. And there's a secret middle line there where you're making a plan to not get where you want to go. What about lacking focus? You're always focused. It's just whether you're focused on the thing that's not the priority or you're focused on the thing that is the priority. Being tough on yourself, set the bar, set it high, and get there. And then don't be afraid of pressure. Pressure is this great, great thing. Pressure, you want to leverage as much pressure against yourself as you possibly can. You want people around you to push you, and you want to push them. And it's not about being a bully. The bully is just as scared as the bullied. It's a dance. The bully and the bullied. It's a dance. And what you're seeing right now is the years and years and years of the people being bullied are becoming the bully against the original bullies. Anyway, if being different is going to be celebrated, the last one, what about being different? If being different is going to be celebrated, then we've got to celebrate the people who are different than us and try to understand them. That might have been the big message of this entire video today. Maybe that's what you guys got out of it. I don't know, but I hope you got something out of this. And if you liked it or you hated it, please comment below and put a little angry face there if you really hated it, or a little heart like symbol if you loved it. And please take the time to slap that share button and send out. Obscurity is our biggest issue at Grit Gym. We do this to inspire the experience you want to live, not necessarily for me to inspire your experience, but for you to inspire your own. But anyway, thanks for being here, guys. I really appreciate it. I'll see you soon.